All right, guys, this is the part of the podcast I've been looking the most forward to. Me and Steve are going to take a minute here to go over our favorite players on each NHL team. We'll go in alphabetical order, just to keep it simple. So, Steve, who's your favorite player on Anaheim?
Have to be goalie John Gibson, man. Could have been
Yeah,
one of the best U.S. born goaltenders to ever play if he wasn't in that shithole. But unfortunately for him, he had to play in Anaheim when they're at their lowest. But we discussed him last week, and we did for a reason because he's an amazing player. And I don't know if he's underrated, and I don't know if he's overrated. I feel like he's in a good place.
yeah,
But put him on a team where he could excel. And, we're talking about like a guy who wins the Vezina, a guy who wins the Cups. But unfortunately, he's in Anaheim. Feel bad for the guy, but, that's the way she goes. That's my favorite player, anyways.
it's a good pick. I like Johnny too. Mine on Anaheim is Troy Terry. I just love his speed and his shootouts, even though the bastard fucking beat
Beat
Canada
Canada. Yeah.
uh, at the World Juniors. Doesn't matter. I still love his shootout skills. Just watch him. It's just such a treat to watch. He was a fifth round pick, a bit of an underdog, and I always like the underdog. So that's my guy from Anaheim. What about Arizona?
Big. I picked who else? Who
I
else
know.
can you pick? It's on the back of your jersey, the man I picked. The thrill. The thrill, man. You
Hot
can't
dog
pick
Phil
anybody else in
Kessel.
Arizona, man. He's just one of those guys, like even more so than hockey, you look at the guy himself and the personality is. He's not much of a personality, and that's what makes him a personality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he just doesn't care, man. He'll eat a cookie. He doesn't care, man. He's still gonna put 30 goals in the fucking net every year. He's a
I've
great
heard
hockey player,
so
man.
many funny stories from him too. Just to let the YouTube listeners know. 81
81,
inside the
man.
jersey. Let's
Yeah.
go.
He's an amazing
Um,
player. And, who other, man? I can't pick anybody else in Arizona, man, because when you got a guy like that on your team, so who doesn't love him? There's not one Arizona fan that goes, man, I fucking hate Phil Kessel trading. They just don't, man. He's a great guy out on the
yeah,
team.
he's a great guy. I think he will request a trade though for sure.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, there's
fuck. I wouldn't blame
no
him.
at his point in his career. I mean, he's already got two cups with Pittsburgh, but I can't see him staying in Arizona because there's nothing there for him.
No, no.
My guy in Arizona is Clayton Keller. I love his speed. I love the flash.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just when the team matures, I think he will be captain. Sorry to kind of dog your boy Chicker in here, but I think he will be captain. I think he's a silent leader. I think he leads by example. Um, yeah, I just like it. Clayton
That's a good
Keller.
pick.
Yeah, for
That's a really
sure.
good pick.
What about Boston? Who's your guy here?
Boston, I chose former Minnesota Wild center Charlie Coyle.
Ooh, nice pick.
He came in through the deadline one year, I think, and he had a really good playoffs. I think that's when Boston lost to. That's when they went to the finals, I believe, the year he came, right
Yeah,
when they
with St.
played St.
Louis.
Louis. I think
Not
so.
bad.
Anyways, I think he came into the playoffs. He had a really good playoffs, and I knew him previously from Minnesota because he was on the team when I just started watching Minnesota because I never grew up watching Minnesota. It was more of a thing later on, and he's a player that I always liked. I think he's a really good player. I mean, he's not amazing or anything, but he plays the game well. So I thought he was a good pick.
Yeah, he's a big guy and he uses his body to get a
Yeah,
lot of offense that he wouldn't get if he was a smaller guy, I think,
yeah,
for
yeah. He
sure.
definitely uses that to his advantage.
Yeah. My guy here is Matt Grislick. Kind of like a Loki. He's just such a weird player. And
Yeah,
I don't know really why I like him. I don't know. I just watch him play and whenever he's out on the ice, I think he's a great defenseman, chips in on offense. And he got injured last year and it sucks because he was on his way to on a career high.
mm.
Um, but yeah, I think he's only getting better, and I don't know why. I just love this player.
That's a guy I don't
I
know
think
much
he's an
about.
American player,
I
despite
think
his
you're
name.
right.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know much about him, man. I knew for a couple years there he was kind of in the third pair. He was in and out of the lineup, but
yeah,
other than that, I don't know much about the guy, so I wouldn't be able to put him up there myself. But I'm sure he's a good hockey player.
I think he was playing with McAvoy for a little bit this year. He's usually a top four, usually playing in the second pairing in Boston. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Just a great player. I don't know why I like him. What about Buffalo? Who's your guy here?
Um, I think you might be able to guess this. Dylan Cousins, the dude's a fucking animal.
Nice
I
power horse
mean,
from Whitehorse. Let's go.
yeah, he's amazing, man. He plays the game in any way you want. Imagine coaching this guy. It must be a pleasure to coach. I mean, he'd probably do anything, man. He'd lie down and block a shot with his face. He'd fight. He'd fucking penalty kill, power play. The guy
Yeah,
does it all. He's similar. He reminds me of Ryan O'Reilly in a way. Um, I think he's going to be captain of Buffalo when Jack Eichel leaves, because he's going to fucking leave. You can't stand, right? So I don't know if he's captain yet because he's so
No.
young, but he's got that potential and he's an amazing hockey player. And
Yep,
big
between him or
fan.
Darlene for sure.
Yeah. So he's my pick.
Yeah, great pick. I like that pick too. Like I can't get over how much I like watching that guy play hockey. I love him at World Juniors. I can't wait to see what he does for Buffalo.
Yeah.
My pick would probably be Jeff Skinner, just because I think he's on one of the best contracts in the league right now. For what he does planning rookie parties and absolutely tearing up the league. I think that $9 million is really well deserved.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking, but no, honestly, I do love Jeff Skinner. I loved him in Carolina. I just used to watch him, love him. Used to watch him play. I used to draft him all the time, or not draft him, but trade for him all the time, in like old NHL games and stuff like that. I don't know, love the way he plays, and honestly, I believe he will score 40 again at least one more time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only if Buffalo can get their shit in order. Like, if Eichel stays somehow and he plays on a line with him, and I mean, Buffalo's just clicking and he gets power play time, I think he can. I think I don't know. He usually does have a bad season, good season, bad season, good season. So I think Skinner can get back to his 40 goals, but that is a stretch. But yeah, it's not really.
But not on this team.
Yeah, good point, honestly. But who's taking that contract?
Nobody.
Yeah, fuck it. That's a conversation for another day.
Don't give Peter Shirley a job.
Yeah, no, God, no. Who's your favorite player in Calgary?
Calgary, I was a bit indecisive on this one, but I went with Blake Coleman. He just recently signed there for a few years. Two-time Stanley Cup champion. He started off his career in New Jersey, I think. He's a really good player, and this dude is the type of guy who's not going to do anything, and then he'll just score a goal with one hand on his hockey stick. He's scored some highlight reel goals. He's got that talent, man. I don't know. He's not the guy who's going to score 60 or 70 points, but he's the guy who's going to be a consistent forward for you and get a couple highlight reel goals, man.
Absolutely, man.
His wife's really a rocket player. Oh yeah, well, geez, everybody on this list got rocket-wise, but we won't talk about that.
Probably, yeah.
He's my pick.
Yeah, that was my second too, but right above that is Chris Tanf. Just got traded from Vancouver last season, or signed there, I'm not sure. But he's a great stay-at-home defenseman, and he absolutely eats pucks. Like, this guy just lies down. He'd lie down in front of a cement truck if he had to. I just love the way he plays. I love his loyalty and his effort just in his own end. He doesn't do a lot for the end zone, but I mean, any team would be lucky to have this guy.
Great leader, probably too. I mean, he's probably a really great leader.
Yeah, he is. He's probably great in the dressing room too, because like, he blocks a big shot or something, he's hurt on the bench. All the boys are rallying around him, just loving him.
Yeah, it's a great hockey player
for sure. What about Carolina? Who's your take here?
This guy was I should have mentioned him when you asked if I had anybody else that I thought was underrated, and I actually thought about this guy, but I didn't at the time you mentioned is Vinnie Trojan, man. He's a really good center, man.
He is. He's awesome. I liked him in Florida. I couldn't believe he got traded out.
Played behind Barkov for a while, and I mean, like, he's a very consistent player. Seems like you're going to get 20 goals, 30 assists from him every year, and he plays the game the right way, and he's probably a really easy player to coach. He seems like that type of player who can you give him a goal and he finds a way to do it. And I don't think that he can do anything wrong, man. He's fucking every time I've watched a Carolina game, he's always been in the right spot on the ice. So I'm a big fan of his, and
I always like Vinny too. He seems like the guy, and because he's so underrated, he seems like the guy that could play first line, or he could play fourth line, and he'd do what the coach tells him to go out there and do.
And he wouldn't complain once, man.
No, I like that too. My guy here is a new fellow, Martin Kneecass.
He's good.
Rookie season in, I think, 2018, and ever since then he's only been getting better. I love his speed. I love his playmaking ability. I think he's going to be a star in the league soon. But the only thing is, he might be a guy that we look years from now saying, this guy is so underrated for what he does, just because he's going to get outshadowed by all the skill they have up front. Teravainen, Aho, Svechnikov, Vinnie Trojan. He's got a lot of skill to play with there. So I think this guy will be someone we look to in the future saying, why does this guy fly so low under the radar?
Yeah. I mean, he was a first round pick, man. He was highly thought of, and I don't see any reason why he's not going to succeed in the NHL. I remember watching him in the World Juniors for I think it was a Czech or wherever he's from. I think he played with Zadina, didn't he?
Yep, check.
And I was like, man, this guy's going to be a wicked NHL player. He's got that potential, so it's a good pick
for sure. I know we've shit on him a lot this episode, but if there is any favorite player in Chicago, who would that be?
It's got to be Seth Jones. God, just best defenseman in the league.
Oh, great defensive.
Consistently.
His defensive side of the puck, unbelievable. Great defensive awareness.
No, all seriousness, it's got to be the Flower, man. I mean, feel bad for the guy the way things ended in Vegas. It's terrible the way they treated him, man. I used to love Vegas. I seen a Vegas hat on sale this week actually, and I was like, man, that looks sick, but fuck you, because you traded Fleury, so I never even went and bought it. So I don't know, Fleury, man. Does anybody really dislike Fleury? I don't think so. Great goalie. I mean, sometimes he plays a bit questionable, does questionable plays with the puck, but I mean, he's a great goalie. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, shit defenseman, great goalie. That's what I say about Flower. I'm happy you said that. Definitely a Hall of Famer. My pick for Chicago would be Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, well, that's our first.
He is my favorite. Yeah, it's our first that we've agreed on. He is definitely my favorite goalie of all time. Ever since his time in Pittsburgh with those bright yellow pads, I can remember I was only like 7 or 8 years old. I loved watching him. I used to get hockey cards from McDonald's, the bright yellow pads. Fucking love this guy. He looks like he's always having fun on or off the ice. He could be getting blown out, like, I don't know, letting 4 shit goals, and he makes a good save or he robs someone and he's smiling again. He's just one of those guys that people love to root for. And
definitely.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yes, man.
Hopping over to Colorado. Who's your favorite player on this team?
Well, easy, being from the Rock, it's got to be Newhook, man. He's going to be a top 6 forward, easy. I think I got all the money on him. I think he's going to be a 50, 60-point guy at some point. I mean, even he could score more, man, playing on that group. They got a lot of offense in Colorado. And, I looked at this team and I was like, I can't really pick anybody else because, I mean, you got to cheer for, the guy from the province. And, he's a great hockey player, so it makes it even easier to cheer for him. For
sure. Yeah, that was my number 2 on this list, but right ahead of him just because, I don't know. I like this guy more. It's Nathan MacKinnon. I think obvious superstar, kind of a biased opinion just because I like the way he plays. But, I just feel like he's a kind of a Crosby type, just really hard on the puck, really powerful. I love his work ethic and his, obvious talent and competitiveness, but just his will to be the best hockey player possible. Just the way he's been switching up his diet and his exercise and doing everything possible to be the best hockey player. I think is really admirable. So I
mean, if I never had Newhook, I would have had MacKinnon because I feel the same way. But the dude, he just wants to be better than everybody else.
Yeah. So plus, he was in an episode of Trailer Park Boys. So.
Yeah, he was in several, I think.
Was he? Fuck, I love him. Love that, man.
Yeah, what a guy.
Yeah. What about Dallas?
Is it Columbus or Dallas?
Oh, Jesus. What about Columbus, buddy?
All right, I chose newest Columbus Blue Jacket, Jakub Voracek.
Nice.
I don't know. I just something about the dude. He kind of looks like Gritty in Philly too. He kind of looks like the mascot. I mean,
they had to trade him because Gritty was taking too much. Yeah. They were getting too confused.
They didn't know who was who. Yeah, who the fuck's lacing him up today? So I mean, he's a great player for a while. I mean, he's not going to win any awards, but I think he's a solid top 6 winger. And I mean, he does his job every year. And you ever see that interview where he just completely shit on the press?
Oh yeah, called the. Yeah. Oh man, what
fucking weasel!
Him?
You fucking
bunch
weasel.
of weasel. Yeah, that fucking reporter. Yeah, that guy got fucking sewered, man.
Yeah, so he seems like a fucking laugh to be around. So
I
had to pick him.
Yeah, and I like that too. How down to earth he is, because I mean, any other player would be like, "Fuck, I guess I'll just answer this guy's question, then I can go home and live my life." But fucking call this guy a weasel.
Yeah, he don't care, man. He made his money. He's been in the league a while. He says what he wants.
Anybody who's seen that interview too remembers who was right next to him, Travis Konechny, just did a double take, like, what the fuck did he just say?
Like that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, my favorite on I like that pick though. Voracek would definitely be one of my favorite players in the league too. But I got to go with him, man. Boone Jenner, probably one of the best hockey names there ever was. Played for my hometown team Oshawa Generals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think he might have been the captain for his last year. He played. I think he played 4 years in junior, which tells you how hard of a transition, like, or how like much he had to work at it to actually perfect his game to get up to the show. But I just love the way he plays. How grit in the corner and just. I
Yeah.
think I read a stat somewhere that he led all rookies in his year for hits. So that just tells you
Probably.
what the kind of player he is, man. I love Boone Jenner, and like I said, just I like even saying his name. I could sit at home, watch TV, and just say Boone Jenner every time the
Boone
guy
Jenner.
steps
Boone
on the
Jenner.
ice, and I'd have a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I would have to disagree with you a bit there, to a certain extent of why I don't like the guy. I watched a video on YouTube. It was by Bear Down, the guys who do the quizzes,
Yeah.
and the guy Jesse,
Hmm.
funny guy. He was there. He was
Winnipeg
coaching
fan.
like, yeah, he was coaching this like I don't know, it's some type of like game for whatever in the off season. I don't know if it was for charity or whatever it was, and
Yeah.
Boone Jenner was playing in it, man, and he was like behind the bench. He had the fake mustache on, like just having a laugh, and like all the other players, like Dubois was there and a few other guys, and like everybody seemed really nice and down to earth. And then he was just trying to make a joke with Boone Jenner, man, like because he like made a joke to like, man, you got to play harder or something. And like Boone Jenner was having none of it, man. He was fucking pissed.
Yeah. I never
Yeah,
seen
man.
that,
I was
but
like, wow, man, he seems like a dick.
he might have been having a bad day or something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
somebody
I'll
might have
have to check
died or
that
something.
out. Man, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I know what video you're talking about because I was watching little, sound bites from it and stuff like that. But I never seen the part where Boone Jenner fucking,
yeah, he was
uh,
pissed.
big dog, buddy from Bar
I don't
Down.
think he said much, but I mean, he just looked so pissed, man. Like he was gonna
Yeah.
like eat his ass out or something.
Oh, Boone Jenner tries to eat my ass, man. Bring it over, man.
Yes, man. Open the door.
What about
Anyway,
Dallas? Who's your
Dallas.
favorite player here?
This is the only team I chose too, because I got a little story. I was in a fantasy league a few years ago with a couple of my buddies, and I think it was like round three. So round three, you're gonna get a really good player, and
Yeah.
I was just casually scrolling through when it was my pick. I think we had like a 2 minute timer to make our pick or something. So I was just scrolling through and accidentally clicked on my laptop. I clicked Essa Lindell in like the third round, and I accidentally clicked confirm and drafted the dude like by like I don't even know who it was, by like
Oh man,
Carlson and
yeah.
Stamkos or something. I drafted Essa Lindell and I got shit on for it, and it ended up being a pretty good pick. I mean, he didn't get many points, but I mean, like he never got hurt. He seemed consistent enough. I mean, it would have looked a lot better if he was picked in the 16th round or something, sure, but
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I just after that I was like, man, like I'm gonna pay attention to this guy, how he plays, and he seems like a really good defensive defenseman, and he compliments Klingberg a lot.
Yeah, I do.
And to move
I like
on to
him.
the other player that I picked is Ryan Suter, because I mean, good old Minnesota player. I mean, there for
Oh yeah.
ages. I mean, solid
Bet.
defenseman. If there was an award for defensive defenseman, a long time ago, I feel like Ryan Suter would be a more decorated guy in the league because
Yeah.
he's been
Probably
doesn't make
get two or three of
mistakes.
them.
Yeah. So I couldn't decide really. I wanted to talk about both of them, so I just did that. That's the only team though. Yeah.
It better be, man. Don't be breaking the rules no more. No, the next team coming up, Detroit. I could have picked multiple players here, but I'd be interested to see who you pick from it.
Didn't you? You never talked about your Dallas guy, did you?
Oh Jesus, look at me getting drunk and forgetting what to do. So my guy, hey, this is pretty cool. We're all picking defensemen. My guy is Miro Heiskanen.
Yeah, he's good.
Um, in my opinion, the second best young defenseman in the game, only behind Cale Makar. This guy will win a Norris one day. I love the way he skates. I love watching him for Finland. When he was drafted, I knew nothing about him, but ever since, um, I watched him at an under 18 tournament or even maybe the World Juniors. I just been laser focused on his career, and I'll follow it until he retires. This guy is probably one of my favorite defensemen in the game right now.
Yeah, he's a special defenseman. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about that.
Anyway, on to Detroit, unless I missed another team or player.
No, no, you're good. we got for me, we got Tyler Bertuzzi. I mean, he's like, is there many players like Tyler Bertuzzi left in the league? Not many.
I don't think so.
He's maybe the Kachucks. Excuse me, I'm burping.
Yeah, or Gallagher or something like that, or Marchand or something.
Yeah, there's not many, man, and he's a really good utility player, man, who can play. Who's got a bit of talent, right? He can play top six, and he adds a bit of toughness to the lineup. So I mean, I looked at Detroit's lineup and I seen this guy, and I was like, it's got to be him. He's the type of guy I get when I play NHL games. Put him in. So
Yeah,
he's a great player, man. So it was an easy pick for me.
yeah, I love that pick. My favorite player for Detroit is Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yeah.
I fucking love this guy, man.
Yeah,
This guy's
exactly.
a stud. I love his gritty game, and I don't know,
Yeah.
like a bit of skill to complement that too. I love how he can play top six, and he wasn't expected to play top six. I think he was drafted third round, like his brother Tag or his cousin Tag.
Mm.
And I mean, the best lettuce in the league. Like,
Oh yeah, he's got a good haircut.
it's debatable, but man, great. And I mean, what better lettuce and a missing tooth in the front? Like his overall, like, just facial recognition.
He's
in
a
the
hockey
league is
player.
just,
He's
like,
a hockey
he's
player.
a fucking hockey player, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. What about Edmonton? Who's your guy here? I feel like we might have the same one here.
Good old Toronto player, Zach Hyman. It's
Yeah.
got to be, man. I love him, man. I watched him since he played his first game in the league. He's just one of those players that, he just brings it every night. He's there every shift, man. He doesn't miss a beat. He does anything. He's like, I say that a lot about a few players, but I mean, when I say it about Zach Hyman, I literally mean he does anything. If you wanted this dude to go out there with a fucking semi-automatic, I don't know. Wait, that was a bad reference. Holy fuck. No,
Holy
anyways,
shit.
this dude will do whatever it takes to win, is my point. Which
Yeah,
is
he'll
probably,
fucking do.
it's probably a bad
semi-automatic, man. I believe it.
probably a bad comparison to make to do anything to win, but you get my point now. At least I got it across. So
Yeah, loud and clear, bud.
Yeah, your turn.
Yeah, so we actually got the same player. I knew it as soon as so that's two in a row now. Yeah, great player. Probably one of the best in the corners and net front. What I really like about this stud is he can play power play or PK. So I really like that. I love players that can do that. He's good offensively, but if you got too many players on your team on the power play, like they did in Toronto or now Edmonton, he'll be great on the penalty kill as well.
He's good in front of the net.
Yeah, for sure. I love him in front of the net, and I mean down in the corners, like I mentioned too. Like a lot of people in the game probably can't even beat him down the corners, and he's not looked at as this huge, great player.
Oh, he's getting paid like it now, though.
Oh yeah, he got his money now. What about your Panthers pick? Who's your guy?
I picked a guy who's a little bit off the board for Florida. He was undrafted, so I felt like I wrote that down in my notes just to make sure that I mentioned that. It's Ryan Lomberg. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
I seen him in the playoffs this year, and I never really paid attention to the guy prior to that. And I was like, man, this dude just got energies. He knows how to play the game, and I felt like he was just a really solid player. And I was hoping this offseason that the Leafs might go out or Minnesota and make a run at this guy. I mean, I know it wouldn't probably cost a lot to get him on the group, but I don't know. I just liked him. There's something about him, the way he plays. And I just thought he was a really interesting player. So I'm probably going to keep track of the rest of his career and see what happens to him.
For sure. And yeah, I'm always cheering for undrafted players.
Yeah, definitely.
Or underdogs or people who's drafted late. People who have a lot of obstacles against them to even crack a lineup. I love those players. My guy here is Jumbo Joe. Big Joe Thornton. I fucking love this guy.
Ageless wonder.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the Nick Baxtrom, probably one of the best playmakers for the last decade. Just a great team guy, do anything to win, hard on his teammates, kind of like a Michael Jordan in the NBA.
Yeah.
Just like I've heard stories about this guy just ripping his own players in practice, but it makes them better players. So I respect that. Like if you get like a fourth line plug, ripping players in fucking
Yeah.
practice. You know, like that guy's a scrub. Get him out of here. But
When
when
Joe
Jumbo
Thornton
does it to you,
talks, yeah,
when
you
Joe Thornton
listen.
talks, you know, like it means something. And
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
how can you mention Jumbo without mentioning that fucking beard, eh? Best beard in the league, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. He's a fucking beauty,
Most
man.
iconic anyway. Like if I seen that beard and you're like, which famous athlete is this? Like,
It's
I
easy.
mean, it's either 100 years old James Harden or it's fucking Joe Thornton. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, who'd you
That's
got for
good
the Los
picks.
Angeles Kings, my buddy?
Um, my player for Los Angeles is a guy who I believe is going to win some type of hardware in his career, maybe an Hart or an Art Ross or something, and that's Quentin Ballyfield. I've seen a lot of people, especially a guy we know,
Yeah,
who's not too high in Quentin Ballyfield, and I don't understand why. I mean, I believe he was the youngest player in the AHL last year,
could have been.
and
Yeah,
the numbers he put up was like, it was almost a point per game, and then he came in and played a few NHL games. He had a few points. So I believe in him, man. He's second overall pick behind Lafreniere a few years ago. And I don't know, man. It's just he reminds me. I don't know if this is just how because he's tall or if I don't know what it is, but I think he reminds me of Guinea Malkin. I think he's got that uh, ceiling, man. That's a big ceiling for me to
it is. Yeah,
say something like that. But I think he's got that
two
ceiling, man.
second overall picks.
He's got that reach, man. His stick is long and like he's fucking. He's a very aware player. He knows where he is on the ice, and I just think I got big hopes for this guy. I'm gonna follow his full career, and I hope he does well, and I hope he proves me right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
unlike a Jack Hughes per se, like he doesn't have to fill out. He doesn't have to gain muscle.
No,
The
man,
only thing
he's
he's got to do is just
find his way.
learn how to move his body and find
Yeah,
like you said, yeah, just find his way. uh learn to play with the muscle he got there, and he will he's got every single I don't know,
attribute you
reason
need.
to, yeah, exactly, trait to be a great NHLer and all the potential in the world as well, so for
Yeah.
sure. My guy here is Brennan Lemieux. Sad he got traded for
Oh
New
yeah.
York from New York Rangers
Yeah.
because I liked watching him there. And but I love the edge he plays with. He's a great small fighter. I like how he stands up for his team and he's loyal wherever he goes, despite he's been traded 4 times, which kind of surprised me when 3 times. He's been on 4 different teams, which kind
Hmm.
of burns me out because how good of a small forward he is, and you're only going to use him on the third or fourth checking line.
Maybe it
But I
has
can't.
something to do with his personality. I wonder.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that too. Maybe he's a locker room cancer of some type too, because I mean,
Yeah.
he's a great little player, and I love him to death
Yeah.
just from
He,
his
I
on
thought he
ice.
was a really good player. Not really good, but I mean, he thought a useful player. We'll say.
I mean, more useful than a fourth round pick that what
Yeah.
the Rangers got back, but maybe they know
Yeah.
something we don't.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
So
right there.
yeah, that's a good pick.
All right, without wasting any more time, what about your Minnesota pick? I know you've been waiting a while for this one.
Can you guess?
I would guess Krill the Thrill if I had to.
It's got to be, man. I mean, Calder Trophy winner. I mean, one of the most dynamic forwards the league has
The
ever
most exciting
seen.
player to watch, except for McDavid right now.
Yeah, I think so, man. I would say that's fair. And I mean, a lot of people are going to argue with that, but there's a difference between being exciting and being like, great, but he's both. And you can have a great player who's not exciting to watch. I mean, Patrice Bergeron's like watching paint dry. The dude's
Yeah.
fucking. I don't sit down and get excited to watch Patrice Bergeron. No offense, the dude's one of the best players in the league. Some would say, but Kirill Kaprizov, man, every time this guy steps on the ice, man, I'm just glued. My eyes are glued to the screen. I'm like, what is he gonna do? And
Yeah.
the ways he pulls off his moves, and incredible skating. Some of the best skating I've
Oh
ever seen in my
yeah.
life.
One of the best skaters I've seen in a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, he's unreal. His edges are great, and he just finds ways, man. It's just he's not the biggest guy, and he's not the strongest, and he just finds ways to do stuff that other players can't do, and it's really inspiring. It's amazing to watch. So this dude's got a good career. Hopefully he signs, because if he goes back to fucking Russia or wherever he goes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be shitting bricks. But let's hope he signs.
Minnesota's going to easily
Minnesota
become
fans.
the most fun team to watch to the most boring team to
Yes,
watch if he goes
exactly.
back to
Yeah,
Russia.
yeah, very quickly.
Yeah. For my pick, the pride of Norway, Norwegian prince himself,
Oh
Matt
yeah,
Zuccarello. I love this guy's speed and his playmaking abilities. I think he plays great with Kirill. So what a good
You
1-2
do,
punch me and
yeah,
you got here.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I like this guy on New York Rangers, and I've loved him ever since.
yeah.
Uh,
He's a great player, man.
yeah,
I love watching him too. He's great at passing the puck, and all they need that line needs is that dynamic center. Like put Jack Eichel on that line. Fuck, man.
maybe.
How many cups are they gonna raise in fucking in Minnesota, man? It's just they need that one center, and I think they're on to that next level. But
Yeah, that's kind of dicey saying, "Oh, we just need that one piece." I wonder how many fan bases said that and
yeah,
didn't make
that's
a.
fair. But Zuccarello's a really good player. I like that choice. I love him, man.
Yeah, same. Happy you agree. What about Montreal?
Um, I picked Carey Price because it's just like one of those things. How do you not like the guy? I mean, he's such a great name in hockey. He's done a lot for hockey, and seems like he's
Yeah,
a solid guy. Won a lot of awards, and he's played in the league a long time, man. He was drafted in the first round in 2005, I think, something like that.
fifth overall. No five.
Yeah, I mean, Pierre Maguire doesn't like him, but who gives a fuck about that? You ever see that thing where he's like, "Oh, they got the Jose Theodore and that we don't need Carey Price in Montreal." You ever see that?
Jesus, what a bad call.
Yeah, that was tough. And
No, we got to have a segment where we go over all the shit Pierre Maguire says. I'd love that, honestly. Didn't he
yeah, I
just get a
know.
GM job or something?
He got a job in Ottawa. It's not GM. It's like some kind of advisor or some shit like that. But yeah.
Oh man,
Anyways, Carey Price. How do you not like him? Is what I'm getting to. So I had to pick him.
I like him for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guy here, maybe just as iconic for the Montreal Canadiens is Brennan Gallagher. I uh, I love the way he plays, kind of like Bertuzzi, kind of like Boone Jenner. He's always hard on the puck, hard on the players he's playing against. One of the best shit disturbers in the game,
Oh yeah.
um, and he can definitely chip in on points. So I like that too.
hmm
What about Smashville Predators, man? Is your guy here?
This one's a bit off the board. Tanner Janot. He didn't play much this year. I think he's still considered a rookie. Um, and the fact I have here written down in my notes is that he was a undrafted player. He played this past season. He played in the ECHL, AHL, and NHL. And I feel like this guy just lit it up in the ECHL, played extremely well in the AHL, got a call up, and he played extremely well in the NHL. I think he just carved his way into a full-time NHL role. And, it's nice to see players that come in like that. It makes you want to pay more attention to him rather than a guy who's like drafted 18th overall, who's got a pretty good full ride to the league for the most part.
Yeah, for sure. I always cheer for underdogs, man. I love them.
Yeah, so he seems tough and he seems like he's got a bit of skill to go along with it. So he's a nice guy to watch, and I guarantee you a lot of whoever's watching this probably don't have a fucking clue who Tanner Janata is, and I wouldn't blame him one bit because I barely know who he is, but solid
Yeah.
player, I think.
You can absolutely add me to that list, buddy. I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but I'm gonna look him up right after this and see where he came from because I love that. My guy here is Roman Josi Yossi.
Oh yeah,
Fucking man rocket. Great D-man, and for my money, one of the best captains in the league. Not a lot of defensemen can kind of lead a whole forward group by example, but I think he does. I
and
think
he's
he
the best
can.
forward on that team, man.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, I feel like he kind of guides the blue line and kind of directs the offense on that team too. He's like a fucking star quarterback there. So I
Yeah,
think
my voice just cracked.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
beer's getting
So
me.
love it. New York
Good
Islanders,
points.
dude.
Um, I had New Jersey before New York, but it doesn't matter. Did I fuck
Oh
that up?
Jesus Christ, so did I. Devils. Who's your guy?
Mackenzie Blackwood, man, the dude has lost some teeth and he's a goalie, so I don't really know how that happened. He must be a street fighter or something, so I
Jesus.
automatically love him.
Yeah.
He's a great goalie, man, and I feel like he's going to be contending for a spot on Team Canada. Um, I don't think he gets it necessarily, but I think he's got a lot of potential. And when New Jersey gets better in the next few years, I think people are going to realize how good of a goalie he actually is. And I've loved him for ages. I used to draft him in NHL, so it's a great goalie.
Yeah, me too. That's my pick here too, man.
Yeah.
I forgot that he lost teeth. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I have no idea how he lost them, but they're not there. So
Didn't he have a black eye in one of his pictures too?
I don't fucking know, man. The dude gets the shit beat out of him. I don't understand it.
Man, I feel like in one of his pictures he was absolutely like got the wheels beat off him or something.
Yeah.
Uh, um, loved him in juniors. I think he's going to be a top goalie in the league. Yeah, like you said, I used to draft him in NHL games, and he's a guy just like John Gibson, where I feel like he's going to be a recurring topic on this podcast.
Oh,
Like I
for a
can't give
long
enough
time.
praise to that guy.
Yeah.
Like now that they're slowly starting to rebuild, I think he's going to be a big part of a great New Jersey Devils team.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep. To the island, buddy. Who's your guy here?
Former All-Star game forward, former Toronto Maple Leaf, Uncle Leo. The dude is a beauty, man. He's one of the best looking ugly people I've ever met. I haven't met him, but I've ever seen. And I mean, he's just like, I don't know, something about him, man. You see Kamarov going up the ice, it's like, how do you not cheer for the guy to do something? He's just so uh, you don't expect him to do anything, and when he does something, it's like, wow, he can actually do crossovers like Leo Kamarov, and he had a lot of offensive potential. I thought. I don't know. It's just I don't. That's kind of weird for me to call Kamarov having offensive potential.
Can't
But
even do a crossover.
when he was in Toronto through the dark ages before Matthews and stuff, there wasn't much else to look at. Stuart Piercy or Leo Kamarov, right? Pick your poison. So, I don't know. It's just I feel like if he could start his life over, he'd have more offensive potential. But I don't know, man. I just love the guy, and I don't need an explanation because I love him. So that's my explanation.
Yeah, no, that's fine with me. I made this list a while ago, but if I had to redo it, I put Zdeno Chara here. He just
Yeah,
got
sure.
signed with
That's a
them.
good pick.
I
Yeah.
fucking love Chara, but anyway, I'll go off my list. Matt Barzell, great hands, great skating. He's
Mhm.
probably the smoothest looking player in the NHL.
Oh, he's
You know,
smooth,
like
man. He's good
every
looking too. He's
time.
a good looking fellow.
Oh yeah, nothing to shake a
Oh
stick
yeah.
at. I'll tell you
Oh
that.
yeah.
Um, fucking yeah. Every time he touches the puck, it seems like he's just the smoothest, best looking player out there. He kind of skates like Kirill Kaprizov, man. I was gonna
Yeah.
compare him earlier, but I didn't want to give it any spoilers that I really like this player. Um, yeah, I just like this player a lot.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. It's really
What
good.
about in Madison Square Garden?
Madison Square Garden. It's a guy who took a little while to get going in his NHL career, and he didn't really. He was a high pick, I believe, but he didn't really amaze out of the gate, and he kind of moved around a bit. As Ryan Strome, I really like him.
Hmm.
I think he's a solid player, and he seems like a nice dude. I've seen him in the interviews and stuff, and he just seems like a guy you like and you're going to cheer for. And he was in Long Island as well, I think, when he started off, and he went to Edmonton and didn't really work out. Now he's in New York with the Rangers. So I just cheer for him. I think he's a good player, and I think he's underrated. Honestly, it should be
I like
mentioned in
his
that.
too.
He gets points. Last few years, he finds ways to be productive, and that's what you want from a top six center. So I think he's a good player.
Yeah, great two-way guy
Yeah.
for sure. I think it's just a step keeping him back. Like the Strome brothers aren't really that quick. I think if like Dylan Strome in Chicago looked really good in juniors too, and he was drafted third overall by the Coyotes. And I think it's just that I don't know the Strome brothers aren't the quickest or the flight of foot.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's the reason. My guy for me, it can't be anyone else. New addition, Ryan Reeves. Fucking toughest guy in the
Tough as
league.
nails.
Yeah, you won't find anyone like if someone knocks this guy out or beats him in a fight, just luck. Like
Blow the internet up.
yeah, he is the toughest guy, and I heard he's so bad. It's kind of off the ice. He's a great laugh. I feel like he'd big dog like me or you though. Like if we went up to him saying, "Hey Ryan, man, great game," he'd be like, "Man, get the fuck out of here, pigeons." But
Yeah.
I heard to like
Yeah,
NHL players, like
probably.
he's a
Yeah.
great fellow to have a laugh with
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's my guy here. What
Yeah.
about the dirty Ottawa Senators?
Um is there a future captain of Mars, Brady Kachuk? I mean, the dude just works like a dog, and he's got a lot of skill. He's one of the better hockey families to ever exist in the Kachucks. I mean, to this point, I mean, there's only three of them, but I mean, they're still like a great hockey family to be in.
Yeah,
Tough players, all of them. Keith, Matthew, and Brady are all tough, and then they all got skill and all high draft picks. So I just like him. I just like watching him. I think he's talented, and I think Ottawa's going in a good direction, and he definitely makes it more interesting to turn on Ottawa Senators game. So it's cool to see him succeed, like his
for
family
sure.
members. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll knit from the same cloth, as some
Yes,
people
sir.
would say. My pick here is Brady Tkachuk. Uh, I love his tenacity and his offensive talents. I love that picture of him and Matt where it's the Step Brothers movie poster,
Yeah, I
and they're
seen
in
that,
it.
man. That's sick.
I love that. It looks like he's always having fun. Him and Timmy Jimmy Stutzlo in Ottawa,
Yeah,
they're always having a good time
yeah,
too. So I
yeah.
really love that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so Brady, it can really be
solid
any
pick.
other players. There's some players on that lineup, like um, deeper down in the depth chart, that I like just for other reasons, but for just, I don't know, just uh, I think you love them if you watch them, but I'd hate to play against them. So
Yeah.
I think it's only because of a fan I can actually like this guy.
Hmm.
What about Philly?
Chose centerman Kevin Hayes. Rest in peace to his brother, passed away
Yeah,
recently. That's a tragedy. He was pretty young,
I
man.
man, I
Sucks.
don't get emotional that much, but like I open Instagram and seen that he passed,
Yeah, it's a sin,
and
man. He's
seeing
got
all
a
the
young
stories
family.
people were saying
Yeah,
about
he's
him,
got a
and
young
man,
family.
what a tearjerker that whole day was.
Yeah,
I couldn't get my day going, man. It was such a sin just
yeah,
seeing
it's tragic,
everybody
man.
come around.
And Kevin is in training camp now with Philly, so he's definitely going through a hard time. Maybe it inspires him to have an amazing season. Sometimes things like that, you just want to. I don't know, just gives you a boost in a way. And I mean, it's weird to say that, but in a sense, it could. And I hope he
Yeah,
succeeds. He's been a great player, man. Signed that $7 million deal a couple years ago, and people were like, "Wow, that's fucking huge overpayment." But not really for what he does. I mean, he provides way more than scoring out of the group, and I think he's the most solid player Philly's got right now. He's dependable, and he works hard. I'm a guy who likes players who work hard, and that's what my list reflects, and so that's why I put him on here.
yeah. I think bringing Keith Yandel there is going to help him out a bit. Have a friendly face. I guess they're all friendly because they've been everybody on that team's been there for a while. But
Yeah,
yeah, and I think and definitely underrated just in the sense of like you don't see it on the scoreboard, but what he does for the team, just like motivating and keeping people just having a laugh and loose and stuff like that. Like it's not going to generate goals directly, but that's an intangible every
you
team
need guys
needs.
like that. Yeah,
100%. My guy, speaking of him, was Keith Yandel. Hilarious guy, Sock
yeah.
Daddy CEO,
Iron Man streak,
Iron Man streak. Yeah, I think he's like what 800 games now or 900.
830
It's
or something.
crazy. Yeah. I like how he can still play both sides of the puck despite his age. I think he's 36 or 35. Uh, just still a great player at his age. So gotta commend him for that for sure.
Yeah.
What about the Pittsburgh Penguins?
Easy pick. I chose Crosby. I don't know. I just like Crosby. I mean, a lot of people would call him Crybaby Crosby, and
Yeah,
a lot of people shit on him. And I don't know. I don't understand him, man. He's one of the best. He's probably a top. I think he's a top 5 player of all time. No joke. I think he's
maybe,
up
yeah.
there.
Three
I mean, he,
cups, everything he's done in his career, gold medals.
triple gold club. He's done it all, man. There's not much more this guy can do besides win a Calder, but good luck doing that.
Yeah, maybe win a Calder in Russia or something, go to KHL.
Yeah. So I mean, he's done it all. I like him. I mean, he seems like a great guy. He's very secretive. It seems. He doesn't
Yeah,
have social media. Doesn't have anything, and that makes me think he's just down to earth. And I feel like if you run into this guy in a grocery store or something, he just like he'd be nice. He'd let you pass him in line. He's seems like a nice fellow. So I love Crosby honestly, and I don't think he deserves some of the hate he gets.
yeah. Yeah, great guy. I like every time I like remind myself or hear that it doesn't have social media, it kind of like takes me back to thinking like it's probably the same reason he wasn't like drinking in high school, or I can't see him really being like a big party or anything. Like a lot of hockey players look at like Tyler Seguin and shit like that, like or Patrick
Yeah.
Kane or something. Like he wasn't that person just because he dedicates his life to hockey,
Yeah.
and that's why
Yeah.
he's so good. Crosby is the best grinder that ever played the games. Like behind the net in the corners, Crosby is going to beat anybody in the game
He's
almost
one of
any
the
time.
best to ever do it, man. I said something one time. I'm not going to say it on the show because I don't want people to kill me, but I believe
Yeah.
I put him in at like 4th all time.
Oh, that's a hot pick. I don't know. I don't know that high, but definitely like I mean, if you don't have him in your top 10, then you've never watched this guy play and you
No,
don't know the career he's had.
no.
My pick here is Brian Rust. Probably the opposite of Sidney Crosby, but no, just a great underdog small forward, huge player in the playoffs. I didn't like him, or not that I didn't like him, but I didn't think he was as good as people were saying for the first like couple years he was in the league. But I'm definitely seeing it now. Like I don't know, this guy just works his bag off, like day in day out. He'll get you once he gets into playoffs and even in the regular season. Like this guy's a sick player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Brian Ross too.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a problem with him. He's all right. No Crosby. But yeah, he's all right.
He's a good fellow.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my
what
2
about the
cents on
Sharks?
Brian Ross.
Yeah, that's it.
Good
This
fellow.
we're actually rebranding to the Brian
Brian Ross
the Brian
podcast.
Ross podcast. Follow
Everything
us on
Brian
Instagram,
Ross.
Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, MySpace,
Yeah.
Google Plus.
He just sits outside his window with a pair of binoculars every day.
That's
Figure out
right.
something to talk about when new episode airs.
We're actually having a special guest on the Brian Rust podcast next week. It's actually his wife and kids. We kidnapped them, and we're going to talk him in a basement and interview him.
Yeah. Everything Brian Rust. This is your spot.
That's right. What about Eric Carl? Oh, Jesus. San Jose Sharks. What about Eric Carlson? Who's your favorite?
Who's your favorite Eric
Carlson on the San Jose Sharks?
Can I guess that your favorite player is Eric Carlson?
Man, actually, it's wrong. It's Brian Rust.
Brian Rust. Oh my!
Who's your favorite guy on the Sharks? Jesus.
James Reimer, former Leaf goalie. How do you not pick him, man? If you're a Leaf fan, I mean, he was a pride and joy of that team. He got too much hate when they lost in Game 7. I mean, Jake Gardner's a fucking bum.
Jesus, how did Jake get wrapped into this?
I don't know. He always finds a way when you're talking about the Leafs. But I mean, Reimer is just such a nice fellow. I mean, it just seems like it anyways. I mean, we obviously don't know these guys personally, but from what we can tell, heart and soul that team. He carried them to the playoffs that year in that shortened season, and it's a sin he had to leave. And you know, when I was younger, I always thought he was going to go down as one of the best, not the best, because you obviously have Johnny Bauer and guys like that. But I thought he was going to be one of the best goalies to be a Leaf. But fortunately, it didn't work out that way. But I love him anyways. I love him.
Yeah, well, he's definitely up there when you're talking about guys like Vesa Toskala, though, for sure. And Jared Sparks. Oh, who was that goalie in Toronto back in the day? Justin Pogge?
Yeah.
I thought that guy was going to be a fucking superstar for some reason, probably just because I liked his name.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, so my favorite Shark, if you don't know already, is Eric Carlson. I love the guy on Ottawa. He's my favorite defenseman for the longest time, probably until Victor Hedman started recently turned on. I got to give the nod to him now. But best offensive demon for the first half of the last decade, I'd say. Great lettuce, rocket wife. So, yeah, I don't know.
It's good defenseman, man. Here. He's fucking odd. He dropped off.
He kind of fell off. He's got a couple ankle injuries, dragging
Hopefully
him down.
he gets him back on track and helps.
I hope so. I like to see him have at least one or two good seasons.
Yeah.
The new franchise of the NHL, Seattle Crackheads. Who's your favorite guy on this one?
My favorite Crackhead's got to be Quentin Ballyfield.
Nice.
I mean, he had a breakout year in New York last year. He kind of pushed his way up the lineup and kept doing it, and they kind of had to play him at a certain point. And He just seems like he's really got a really good shot or something. I was watching him and he scored a few goals, and I was like, man, this dude's got a sick shot, and he's got a little bit of skill there, and I think he's a bit underrated. So it's nice to see him secure a full-time NHL role, and I think he's gonna do really good. Like I was saying, the last podcast, somebody's got to step up in Seattle and be a superstar. And I mean, Colin Blackwell could, out of the fucking bushes, just could jump out and score 25 goals or something. So it's gonna be interesting to watch. I could be totally wrong, and he could get like 3 goals and get sent to the minors, but I guess we won't know until it happens.
I hope not, man. I love underdog players. I'm pretty sure I said that like 17,000 times this podcast, but I'll say it again. That I really like Colin Blackwell too. He came out of nowhere. I didn't know who the fuck he was, and then he just started turning it on. So yeah, my favorite guy in Seattle is Jordan Eberle. Easy pick there, good Canadian boy. Probably one of the best Canadian World Junior Championship performers of all time. His 2-goal game to put in the overtime. In Jesus, I can't remember the year, like 2012 maybe or something like that.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Just
before that, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it could have been. It was around when Taylor Hall got drafted. Yeah, you're right. Actually,
2010.
Holy shit, I'm getting old.
Yeah, Ava.
Yeah, so he seems like a great guy off the ice. He seems so like, I don't know, innocent or wholesome or something. I fucking love him.
Yeah, man. He's got that call you the big red dog energy. Very wholesome.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not call you the big red dog. What's his name?
Call you the big red balding dog.
The man dog, call you, man. What's his actual name?
The red dog. What the fuck was the red dog's name? Clifford. Holy shit.
I just called Jordan Eberle. Call you the
Oh my god.
We've been here for too long, man.
Yeah. Brain cells are starting to die.
Yeah. Big time. I'm sweating. The heat is getting warmer in here. What's on the go now?
Oh my god. So
let's
anyway,
move on.
At home, were you trying to refer to him as Clifford, the big red dog?
Yes, man, that guy. Yeah.
Why?
I call you the big red dog. I don't know. Because you said he was wholesome, and I thought about Clifford, the big red dog. And you mentioned wholesome, so great guy, great locker room guy. I'm actually crying. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, Caillou's actually a little bitch in my opinion, man. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Moving on. What about St. Louis?
Former Leaf again. I mean, I'm just throwing former Leafs out of my ass. Tyler Bozak. I mean, I love this guy. Flozak, man, he had the best lettuce at one point.
Did he?
Really good in the shootout. Yeah, really good in the shootout. And he won the game in the shootout when they played Detroit in Winter Classic that year, a while back. I don't know if you remember that. So, yeah. So, I mean, he's a great player, man. And he just signed again with St. Louis. So, I love seeing him stay in the league. And I would love to see him come back to Toronto at a league minimum deal before he retires, man. I think that'd be a great addition, especially if Jason Spezza next year decides to hang it up. I mean, you bring in a guy like Bozak, put him on the fourth line center. I mean, he's not going to do you any wrong. So,
yeah.
I love the guy, and won a cup. It's amazing. He's a great career, great player.
Yeah, great player. I like him too. I knew he was sick in the shootouts too. I didn't know he won the game-winning goal against Detroit, but I'm kind of pissed off now. I kind of hate him.
Yeah.
No, I like Bozak too. He's always been a great little player.
Yeah.
My guy is Vladimir Tarasenko. I always used to pick him up in free agency and NHL games. Fucking love this guy. Great goal scorer. I think if he didn't get bummed out with so many injuries, I think he could have won a Rocket Richard like easy.
He's got talent.
I think he's got so much pure skill. Like I don't know.
He's that Russian sniper.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know about his
sniper.
work ethic that much. Like it doesn't seem like he works too hard. It seems like it's all pure skill, but I love watching him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, might get traded.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to get traded.
Go. Yeah,
I don't think they're going to trade him because they're kind of worried about what return they're going to get. So
exactly, I think they'll let him play like and build up his trade value.
Yeah, definitely.
And then trade him.
Maybe a trade deadline addition. For a team who's looking to make a good platform.
for sure. Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning. Who's your player here?
Same guy I chose in the underrated players, Braden Point. You know, we already rambled on about him.
Yeah,
Just 2 Stanley Cups, could have won the Conn Smythe any of those years. Underrated. He's one of the best centers in the league. Does it all. So I mean, that's what more can you say about a guy? I mean, he's underrated and he's a really good player. I enjoy watching him, and you know, the fact that he is underrated makes me enjoy it even more because I'm like, these
same.
guys don't know what they're missing.
Yeah, stud.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Big Red, Fat Pat Maroon. Fucking love this guy. Man.
He's second
great.
on my list. He's second on my list.
Oh man, he's great with interviews. He's had a great career, great story of how he came up through the ranks and like how he was playing with John Cooper. 3 cups, that's right. He wins everywhere he goes lately.
Yeah, he just wins everywhere.
Like how hard he must have had to work, just like that big body on him. Went to Edmonton, fucking had a pretty decent career, but I just got to pick where he went. Said, "Fuck it, I'm going back home. I want to win," and went to St. Louis, got his cup there. Said, "Fuck this, I got one. I'm getting
going
2.
Down to Florida before I retire."
Yeah, you think? Yeah, go down there, get some sun with Tampa, and win 2 more. I mean, I hope he gets 4. Fuck it.
Yeah, I hope he signs at the Leafs next year.
Yeah, except for maybe Ovi and Kucherov. I mean, probably one of the best Stanley Cup partiers there is.
Oh yeah, man, he'd be wild. Have on to go. Maybe I'll invite him to my birthday party next year or something.
Yeah, I might invite him in on the podcast, see if you got time to come on.
Jeez, man, that's a good idea. No, we're not going to get anybody. Might get the ECHL Marcus Power.
Yeah, we'll see. No, I'd say we get a Newfoundland Growler on here eventually.
Oh yeah.
Just need to sweet talk him a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I'm wearing the jersey, and you're wearing the jersey on your heart, the Toronto Maple Leafs. You got a favorite player on this team, or should we skip this one?
I do have a favorite player, and he takes a little bit of heat, and I think anybody who comes in and puts a C on their jersey takes a bit of heat, and that's John Tavares, man.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I think the hardest job in the league, just in a sense of having to do it every day and having to deal with it, is being the captain of Toronto Maple Leafs. I think that's the hardest job in the league.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Phaneuf was put through the ringer every
so hard,
fucking year he was there.
Always questioned.
Getting the same thing.
And I mean, Tavares came and scored 47 goals in his first year. He's an elite.
Yeah, that was an insane.
Player.
That was an insane year. I couldn't believe he coming and do that. Just just having to learn every like new face in the locker room and stuff like that, and all the pressure he was given. It's insane.
I honestly think, I'm not saying this either, if John Tavares never got injured in last year's playoffs in game 1, I think Leafs were getting it around 1. Because Leafs only needed a few more goals, man, to win that series.
They only just lost the series.
John Tavares would have been that guy to get that overtime goal. He did it in New York. New York made the playoffs one year when he was there. He scored the overtime winner in a game. He's just, I love him, man. And I played hockey, man. And I've always tried to base my game around John Tavares. Even when he's on the island, I was like, man, I love this guy. He's my favorite player in the league.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, man. He's my favorite player in the league. I love him. I play center in hockey, and I've always just I just watch him, and I was like, man, I want to be like John Tavares. I used to tape my stick white, and I gave that up. I was like, man, I can tape it black. JT tapes it black, and I don't know. Decent. I just love him. And I was I used to wear like fucking 8 and like these weird ass numbers, and I went and changed. I couldn't get 91, so I just went with 9, but I wanted to get 91 like Tavares, but I couldn't do it. And yeah, I don't know. I just love the guy. I could go on for hours about how great
Same man. I think he played in the Oshawa Generals. I watched him play for years, man, when I was there. It was a treat.
Talented.
It was a treat. We're number 19 on Oshawa, believe it or not. And then he went to I guess Long Island, and either someone was 91 or 19, or it was retired, wasn't it? Wasn't that Trottier's number or Bossy?
Some fella named Goring, wasn't it, or something like
Butch
that?
Goring? I'm not sure.
Or Gormley or something.
Nah, it would have been Bitch Goring. I'm not sure.
Anyways,
sure just called the guy bitch. Anyway, yeah. Well, couldn't be 19, so choose 91, and it's a pretty iconic number for him, even though like half the league is number 91.
Yeah.
My favorite Leaf is Mitch Marner. He's the best Leaf I've ever seen play. I've seen Sundin. I know that's a big thing to say, but if he continues to,
better.
No, I think Mitch Marner is so much better than Matthews. I think just the goal
That's
scoring.
hot. That's
I
hot.
know that the goal scoring is definitely there from Matthews. It's not even a debate. Matthews is probably the best goal scorer in the league, but like overall player and just like the kind of player I like anyway, just the pass first kind of guy and just like the skill and stuff. I love watching this guy in London when he was in juniors. I love that he got just brought in right to Toronto because that's like his hometown and stuff. And I've loved to watch him ever since. It's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like Marc-Andre Fleury kind of thing where he's always having fun playing the game too. Kind of the same thing with that I see from Caulfield, and that's why I like Caulfield so much too. It's just like they're always having fun. He loves the game so much. So that's my pick.
Marner just got engaged.
Go on.
His wife's around too, man.
Nice, man. Fuck, good. I love hearing that, dude. That's sick. Good for him.
Good for him. Yeah.
Yeah, got the skill. Got the nice lady. Yeah. Marner's good on camera too. He might have a career after. He does a lot of like insurance commercials and shit. I always see him doing commercials.
Yeah.
So
he got his mom involved in that and everything, man.
Oh, go on. No, he never.
Yes, he did.
That's kind of a bad look, but
yeah. He's looking out for family, man.
Yeah, that's right. Getting everybody securing the bag for everyone. Yeah, that's right. What about Vancouver?
I chose Brock Besser because I think he's got a wicked shot, and he's had a tough couple of years, man. I feel like injuries and stuff, and I don't know. I feel like he's just had a few years where I wish he could erase it and start over anew. And I think he's going to have that mindset going into this season. And I think he can put up 40 goals, man. I think if not more, like he's got the shot, man. He's got that. I remember they played Pittsburgh in his rookie year, and he was just like fucking lighting up Matt Murray, making him look like a fucking fool. Like the dude's got amazing shot.
Yeah,
he could have. He's one of those players that could just sneak through one of these years and just win that one rocket and just sit back.
Yeah, he seems like a type, man. Yeah, like a Jonathan Chichu type, eh?
Something like that. Yeah. But better, but better, but a lot better.
Oh yeah, don't be saying that, man.
Not the 1 year show, not the 1 year show.
No.
He showed up for 1 year in San Jose, didn't he?
Pretty much, and then he just fucked right off. You're right.
But Brock Besser's could have that one Chichu year and then go back to being Brock Besser.
Yeah, I'll take his line mate, Elias Patterson, or as the Swedes call him, Elias Patterson. This guy, it seems like he has a great personality. I love watching him play. I love his shot. His hockey IQ is off the charts.
Yeah.
Everything about this guy, I love watching him play. Yeah, pretty much. Just
solid player.
Yeah, just a solid guy. What about Vegas? I know we've touched on them and how they've had a shaky last year and all the decisions they make, and they're kind of dickheads. But you got a favorite player on here?
I do. Recently re-signed Alec Martinez. You want to talk about a player who blocks shots? Alec Martinez blocks shots. This guy jumps in front of everything. He eats pucks, man. He plays well, man. He's like really underrated for getting the puck up ice. I mean, makes the first pass and he does it really well. They got him playing with Pietrangelo, I believe.
Yep.
I mean, that's solid, man. That's really solid. And they got Theodore as well. They got a really good blue line in Vegas, and I think people talk about Theodore and they talk about Pietrangelo and like you should, because those guys are great players. But Martinez just signed for around $5 million. He deserves every penny. He's that good of a player.
Game-winning goal from Los Angeles, but it's time there.
Won the cup. Yeah,
won the cup. That's got to be a fucking great feeling, eh?
Yeah, can't imagine.
Yeah. My favorite is Alex Tuch. I love big body players, like huge forward. Doesn't really have the speed now, but he's working on it. Like amazing power forward. I think he'll be one of the best power forwards in the game pretty soon. I don't know. He's just missing that first 3 steps to get him up to speed. But when he gets going, he's like a train and you cannot stop him.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about him. What about Washington?
I chose somebody who's on your list, underrated, Nicholas Baxtrom.
Nice. Yeah, I love Backy.
I love Baxtrom, man. He's just, I could go on about him like we did prior. I mean, he's underrated and he does it every year. So you got players like that in the league. They're definitely players to look up to. So, I mean, I can't say much more than that. He's a future Hall of Famer and he's an amazing player.
For sure. In my opinion as well. My guy would be TJ Oshie. Great set of mitts, and he's always looking good on the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another guy who's fucking amazing, just like Troy Terry. I know that was like 13 hours ago we were talking about Troy Terry, but great guy, can put the puck in the net on breakaways and shootouts. 4 times in international games. Just overall beauty of a player. I like watching him play. Just the plays he makes looks just real clean out there.
Oh yeah, he's got skill.
Yep. What about Winnipeg?
Winnipeg. I chose the leader, Blake Wheeler. Kind of
the leader, Blake Wheeler. I've never heard that before. That sounds unreal.
I just made that up, actually.
Are you going to trademark it, or
I should, man?
Should we get on?
People are going to be stealing that.
If I hear Elliot Friedman fucking say that once, I'm suing. I swear to God.
Oh yeah. I get the paperwork going. He's a great player, man. He kind of blossomed later in his career.
Yeah.
You know, he puts up a lot of points. I don't think he's going to win a major award just because he doesn't have that. I don't know. He's not going to make that extra, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Get those extra 10 points he needs to win an award or something like that. But, you know, consistent
he's always
player.
Up there.
Yeah, he's always up there. But I just feel like there's just so many players now with so much skill and score so many points that it just kind of makes it hard for a guy like that too. I mean, he could win the leadership award?
Mark Messier Leadership Award.
Yeah, so I mean, he's definitely in the running for that every year. I mean, he's a great leader, and I just recently heard a story where he bought some families groceries in a supermarket in Winnipeg because they didn't have their money on them. So I mean, he's all class, man, great leader.
Yeah.
How do you not like the guy? He's tough.
I don't know. Tough as nails. I love that guy. Just like fine wine, just keeps on getting better as his age gets up there. My guy here would have to be Mark Scheifele. I fucking love this player. He's just such a student of the game, just always learning, just always watching hockey, just talks nonstop hockey. It'd probably be so annoying for like non-hockey fans, but I kind of see myself the same way. Like I'm always talking shop about hockey. Great hockey IQ. I mean, one headshot. I mean, we can look past that, I hope.
Jake, everybody except Jake Evans.
Exactly. No, he's only looking back now. I think he'll be the next captain when your guy Wheeler moves on.
Yeah, that's probably an easy choice. It's kind of shitty that he's suspended for the first game of the year.
Yeah, it does, but
he won't make that mistake again, headshotting some guy because they lost by a goal.
Yeah, exactly.
If he was in that series, it would have made all the difference.
Yeah, I know for sure.
Great player.
He wasn't having a great playoffs, but I mean, good enough. He still makes an impact when he's out there.
Yeah. So before we end, man, I know it's been a long ass time and stuff, but I just like to have a few thoughts before we finish on some of the things that's going on before it's irrelevant. If you'd like to.
For sure, man. Let's get it done.
I want to know your thoughts on the Jack Eichel situation, man, and what you think is going to happen there. Because apparently he's attending. He's not attending training camp, but he's attending the physical, which is like a test to see if he's good enough to play, like if they can clear him to play. So do you think he's going to play in Buffalo, or do you think he's going to get traded?
You're kind of switching up tables on me. You're asking me all the questions now. I don't know. I think I wish Jack Eichel would go back to Buffalo. I hope he'd kind of just like put it past him and just say, all right, fine, you guys drafted me, you guys believed in me, let's work something out. But I don't see how that's possible, just how vocal he's been on Twitter and how vocal his agent's been on how badly he wants to get out of Buffalo. Like you can't almost come back from that. It's kind of like going on Instagram live and just being like, my girlfriend is such a stupid bitch, fuck that chick, I want out of this relationship, and then a week later posting a picture of her, just like, I love this girl so much. It's kind of like that. It's the exact same thing. You just can't come back from it. So I think he moves on. I don't know where he goes. If I had to throw out a couple guesses, I don't even know who's got cap space for him.
I feel like
people are saying New York Rangers and some people are saying Minnesota.
I think they're going to trade him to the West because I don't think Buffalo wants to have to deal with him anymore, at all. I just they want to forget Jack Eichel ever existed, which sucks because he's got so much talent. But things went sour, and if I was Jack Eichel, I'd be on the fucking bus now. I'd be gone. I'd just show up Minnesota for training camp and say like, "How's it going, boys? Get a deal done." Just throw on the gear and go on ice.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Would you rather have Jack Eichel or Kirill Kaprizov. Say you could only have one.
Oh, Kaprizov.
Oh man, that's such a wrong pick. You're nuts.
No, man. Kaprizov's so exciting. He's
Fair
a
enough.
savior of that organization.
Well, think about it this way. Some people were saying Jack Eichel could have went first overall instead of McDavid.
Yeah, but he never, for a reason. Kaprizov should have went first. He went like 137th or something.
Yeah, I'd say. Who else you got on that list?
Like I was just talking about, what do you think's going to happen with Kaprizov?
I think he signs. I think they work out something because, like, I think he for some reason I think that he loves attention, and I feel like you can kind of just say, "What are you gonna go do? Bury yourself over in the KHL? Or are you gonna play in the best league in the world?"
Yeah.
You know,
he's like posting pictures of him fishing while like everybody's commenting like, sign your goddamn contract. There was even an interview I watched on Minnesota's YouTube channel with Marcus Foligno about this upcoming year, and he's like, he better sign, because if he don't sign, I'm gonna go over there and drag his Russian ass back to America.
Holy fuck, imagine.
So I think he's gonna sign, but I think it's the deal to deal with the term, because I think Minnesota wants him 8 years, but Kaprizov's camp is more in the 4 to 5 year range, because he's going to want, if he keeps getting better, he might want that big $12-13 million payday. But
yeah,
I feel like it's more in the $8 to $9 million region at the moment.
Do you know how much you could get paid in the K?
Not much.
No, they pay. Oh man, are you kidding me? They pay so much over in KHL. They got money. They got money to burn over there.
Yeah, but they can't sign him in the team he played before in SKA, because they're almost up to their league max cap, and I've seen that they'd only have like $1 million US if they converted it to sign him. So I think that's out of the question, because the dude's not playing for $1 million.
Dude, it's all run by the mob over there anyway. Like,
yeah.
if Kirill goes, I want to play with you guys, but I see you got more cap, he's like, all right, like this guy is on
$8 million under the table.
making, yeah, probably, honestly, $8 million in signing bonus.
Nice. I'm gonna make a prediction here. He signs for 5 years at $9 million, and if he does it, I'm gonna be pretty proud of myself.
Nice, that'd be a good range for him. Yeah, he definitely wants that big contract. I don't think he signs for 5. I'd say 3 or 4.
All right, that's
I'm trying to find a player in the league that I could compare him to who made that deal, but I don't know if there is one.
I feel like the next guy I wanted to ask you about is Elias Patterson. I don't know I don't know what the fuck how you say his name, but that's
Elias Patterson.
Elias Patterson. Apparently, I think what I've heard and what I've seen is that Minnesota's, when they get a deal done with Kaprizov, that's when Patterson signs, because he feels like he's in the same territory. But I don't believe that. I feel like Kaprizov is a little bit more dynamic. I don't know if that's just bias. It's definitely biased, but
yeah, it seems like Kirill got a bit more freedom, where Elias just plays up and down the ice. Kirill just, like, I don't know what it is about him. The guy just flies around everywhere. Like, he plays every position in the offensive zone, except for defense. The guy plays left wing, center, and right wing.
Yeah,
when he's in the offensive zone. So I don't know. I think he signs more term, and they get him on a better contract that way, because I think he does want to kind of be the leader there, and he kind of wants to be seen as, a team-friendly guy. So I don't think he asks for a huge contract. I think he takes term instead and makes his money that way, because I think he does want to stay in
I think he wants to
Vancouver.
Stay too.
Because, they have great role models there, like the Sedin brothers, and they just brought in, like, I don't know.
Paul Horvat's one of the best captains in the league, in my opinion. He seems like such a great leader.
That's what everybody says, yeah. So for sure. But I think he does want to seem as team friendly as possible.
That's half the problem, because they also got to sign Quinn Hughes, and I don't think Quinn Hughes is very team friendly. Not saying that he's not a nice guy, but I think this guy wants to get a payday, and
I think he wants to go to New Jersey.
I would, yeah, I think he does, but I don't think it happens.
No,
I think this dude wants a payday. He's a defenseman who came in and got 50 to 60 points in his first year, and he lights it up every year. I mean, there's obviously defensive inconsistencies there, but if I think
he went down to 22 last year.
If I'm Quinn Hughes, though, I don't give a fuck, man. I put 50 points on the board. Give me 8 or 9 mil for 5 or 6 years, or he probably wants 3 or 4 years, honestly, because he's like, I'm only getting better. I'm gonna get paid more.
Yeah.
So they got bringing in OEL's contract, signing Connor Garland to 5x5.
Yeah,
It's
it
fuck,
doesn't leave a
man.
lot of room for those
No,
guys.
man, there's big issues in Vancouver when it comes to figuring that out, and that's why I think Jim Benning's not that good of a general manager, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
But the last guy I got wrote down here, I want to have a conversation about before we end everything, would be a Brady Tkachuk, because he's not signed as well, and we're viewing him as probably the future captain of the team. So, what do you think happens
He
there?
signs. He fucking loves it there, man. He definitely
Yeah,
signs.
I
I
agree.
don't know how much he's asking for, but he's got a lot of money to work with. So if I was Brady, I'd be shooting for the stars. I'd be saying, give me 12 million. And then like, no, we're giving you
Oh,
6. And then they'd be like, all right, I'll take 10. And it's like, no, you'll take 8. He's like, okay, I'll take 9. They're like, fuck, after taking 8. And then he just wants to stay there. So he'd be like, yeah, I'll take 8. Fuck it.
um, apparently Ottawa wants to sign him to 8 x 8, and I think that's a really good
Yeah,
deal.
I think it is too. That's
I think that'd
great
be good for
value
both
for what he.
sides.
I think it would be too. That's very fair. I think
That's a fair deal for
he'd
both sides.
and then but in a couple years, I mean, in 5 years, he'd have 3 years left on that 8 mil, and I mean by then the cap's going to be going up, and he's going to turn into so much of a bigger player than he is now.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's leaving money on the table there. But for right now, 8 million is a perfect number for Brady. I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good number, man. But I feel like he's probably looking at 5 years or 4 years. And Ottawa likes
Yeah,
to sign guys long term. They got Shabbat on 8 x 8, so I don't know. I think that's what they're looking for, but I think you're getting closer to training camp. Just sign a guy for 8 mil for 4 or 5 years, just to fucking worry about this year, and we'll worry about that when the time comes again. So that's my
yeah,
opinion. Yeah, that's all I got wrote down there, man. So I feel like we're getting to the end here.
yeah. No, I feel like that's a good place to leave it with a bit of a
Yeah.
contract talk.
Yes,
All right,
definitely.
folks at home, thank you so much for tuning in to the Hockey Tank podcast. I can't wait to talk to you again next week and see what funny and insightful shit we get into.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.